So it has finally happened, I've bought a new car.
Oh my God, okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
So since selling my Escort in February, I've been driving around in a Mark IV Golf, which is now sold. I bought that car with the intention of spending as little money as possible on it and having it as a reliable daily to save for what I'm about to show you. I might drop a video on what happened with the Escort and that whole story soon, but let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Now over the last 7 months, I've been watching the market and saving. Now I'm going to be honest, I was quite picky with the spec I wanted because I already had a car, so I wanted this one to be perfect. And finally, after what felt like an eternity, the perfect one popped up with so much more on it than I could have asked for, so I pulled the trigger. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. That is enough of me blabbering. Let's just show you my new car. Yep, that is right, I finally own an MX-5. I still can't put it into words. It's hard to act excited with a mic right here because it makes some stupid noises, but it still hasn't sunk in that I actually finally own one. Now I know to most of you this is just another MX-5, but to me this is the car that I've wanted for ages. Literally, no matter how much I thought about cars or what other car I wanted, it always came back to an MX-5. This is actually the first car for me that I've known what I've wanted, I've saved up and I've gone out and bought it, which is really cool for me. And I mean, what better stage in your life to scratch that MX-5 itch that a lot of people have. I said earlier that I had a really specific shopping list when I was looking for an MX-5, mainly the colour, the model, and I wanted an LSD for, well, obvious reasons. Oh, and obviously the overall condition of the car, because we know these like to rust. But anyway, let's talk about the spec of the car and why it is so perfect. Well, perfect to me anyway. So this is a 2004 Mark 2.5 SVT Sport.
Nice.
So I wanted a Mark 2.5 over a 2 for a bunch of reasons that don't really matter, like the white clusters, the center console, and I prefer the lights on them as well. The 2.5s also come with bigger brakes, but honestly, they just make me worry about what the 2s come with because they're not the best. But I mean, that could just be mine, they might just need changing. Now, I wasn't specifically after an SVT Sport, I just got lucky that this one popped up, but I did want the 1.8 engine, and this one also does come with variable valve timing to give that extra, like, oomph. As you can see, the engine bay is in decent condition. The last owner added this air filter setup, which is nice, and it looks really well looked after. This also comes with the 6-speed box instead of the 5-speed box, which wasn't really a must-have for me, but I guess it is a bonus. Plus, I've heard they can handle a little bit more power, and they're just generally better. Plus, it drops the revs by a couple hundred on the motorway, which brings us onto the exhaust. As you can see, the exhaust isn't standard. I believe it to be the twin exit from MX-5 parts, although he didn't know which one it was. When you're idling, it's nice and quiet, and then when you open up the throttle, it has a lot deeper tone than some of the other MX-5's exhausts I've heard. Although watching that clip back, it does sound a little bit rattly, so I'm gonna have to get that sorted, but it doesn't sound like that in the car, so. But obviously it's a massive bonus that it came with any sort of exhaust because it makes that driving experience, which is already good because it's an MX-5, even better. Especially on days like today when you can get the roof down and hear the full noise of the car. Now speaking of extras, these actually come with the heated leather seats, which I'm really excited about. I've never had heated seats before. However, this doesn't come with AC, but why would you need that? The previous owner also upgraded the stereo system by installing this cool screen, and if you go into my center console, you see a little port for me to plug in and boom, Apple CarPlay. This leaf is really bugging me. Now, one of the absolute musts that I had when I was looking for an MB was the colour. Now, I absolutely love dark green, and I think it looks amazing on pretty much any car, especially MX-5s. In fact, I think it is the best colour that these come in. Red MX-5s, please don't come at me. Now, in a lot of lights, this car doesn't look green. Sometimes it looks black, sometimes it looks navy blue, but I promise you it is green. But I am going to admit to you, whilst I was looking for one, I didn't know that you can get more than one type of green on this car. Now, the one you usually see is probably emerald green, which looks like this. However, this one is finished in Nordic green. Now, when I look it up, it says that only 2005 and onward models came in Nordic green, but obviously not, because this is a 2004. Now, I actually didn't notice that until I met someone with an emerald green one, and I was like, well, that's not the same. But it turns out I actually prefer this green, so I guess I got a little bit lucky, and next time I should probably do a little bit more research. Oh, and I also only wanted the black interior and roof. I know that a lot of people love the tan, but I don't. But I mean, if you do, I'm not hating on it or anything. It looks old school, I just prefer the black. Now, the MB came with a bunch of different wheels when it came out of the factory. However, I'm really chuffed that this one's got these ones. These will eventually be changed, but for now, I'm very happy. It might not be everyone's taste, but I love them compared to some of the other MX-5 wheels, and it just means that I don't need to change them that quick. For those asking, these are 16s. I've heard that 15s are a little bit better for the experience, so maybe we'll try them in the future. I spent ages making sure that I didn't buy one with drastic rust issues in the usual places like the seals, the arches, and the chassis rails. Now, I don't think any MX-5 out there is absolutely perfect, and this one is far from it. However, I'm happy with the condition it's in at the moment, and it's a good starting point to build on. Although fair play if yours doesn't have any rust. Now, I want to say that I found one that isn't a complete rust box, but I'm not going to say that because I don't want to jinx it, especially after what happened last time. Now, I know you're probably wondering why I've bought a convertible model that is known to rust just as we're about to head into winter. But you look at the MX-5 market in June, and there's your answer. Now, without stating the obvious, these are summer cars, so any other time of year, these go for a lot more. I mean, I was looking at these models about 6-7 months ago, and they were fetching like 3k plus, and they were selling so fast. I mean, they were selling before you could even get a message in. Plus, buying one in the winter means it gives me plenty of time to get it ready for them summer road trips. Me and my friends have mentioned about doing the Nürburgring trip next year. I mean, I know everyone's doing it, but that's because it's cool, and I've never been on a track before, so. Now, ideally, I want to go down the turbo route with this car. Now, I'm not going to keep saying that because I know a lot of people say that they're going to do it, and then their situations change because that's just life and they can't do it. But it'd be cool to bring you guys along on the journey with me as I try and figure out how to work on a car myself. I mean, maybe we can do like a Road to the Nürburgring series or something. But don't get me wrong, there is a lot more to do before we even consider turbo in the car. I mean, the main priority now is just trying to prevent the rust. Well, as much as we can, and starting with this bit because this is really annoying. But yeah, at the moment it is about trying to get it in the best shape as possible and doing a little bit of upgrading as we go. I mean, I am considering buying a hard top because there is a little bit of a leak here and on the passenger side, and yeah, the condensation on a cold UK morning is not ideal. It also would be really good to protect the soft top. I did buy a kit to clean it and also make it water repellent. It didn't work. But let me know in the comments what you think of my new MX-5. I'm super excited to bring some different content to the channel. I originally made my channel to try and film videos of me learning how to modify cars myself, but obviously with the Golf, that was pretty much impossible because I didn't want to modify it. It kind of comes at the perfect time because as we go into the winter months, car meets don't really happen, but don't worry, the car meets aren't going anywhere. This just means there's going to be more content. This is the start and I have so many videos planned, so if you want to join me on my journey with this MX-5, then make sure you subscribe and leave a like on the video. Also follow me on Instagram for some more content that doesn't make it on YouTube, you know, like behind the scenes. Also let me know what you think of videos like this where I'm using the mic. I mean, I keep saying I'm really excited and I am. It's just hard to express that and not make a stupid noise with the mic. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video that I've been trying to record for ages. Honestly, I've kept this quiet for so long because I've been trying to wait for the perfect moment to reveal, and by perfect moment I mean when it's not raining. But it has finally happened. I have my MX-5, so I'll see you in the next video.